everybody. Here I'm working on another sewing project. This is this Burda Kids pattern that I'm going to be sewing for my grandson. I'm going to be doing the little vest on this pattern, and at some point I actually might do the little jacket too, but I thought the vest would be like a nice transitional piece, and it is lined, and I found some cute fabric that I'm going to use for lining, and like he loves animals, and so it has bears and mooses on it and deer, so I think he'll be happy with that. And then I found some cute buttons. The buttons are really big, but that's fine. I'm gonna put the big buttons. I decided on red buttons, so it's gonna have like some, he'll be able to manipulate the buttons easily because they're nice and big, and he'll be able to get in and out of it. So yeah. So the pattern comes with a little croquet for taking measures, and I did measurements, and I did take his measurements because I'm trying to decide what size to make. I was going to make a straight size 10, but after looking at the measurements, he's really kind of like all over the spectrum between a size 6 and a size 11, but he's mostly close to a size 8. The thing is, he's a chunky little boy, and his waist measurement falls in the size 11 because his waist is 27 inches. His chest is 26 inches, which is a solid size 8. His height is 49 inches, which puts him in a size 8. His hips are 28 inches, which puts him in a solid size 8, but in the waist he's really up there. So he's got short little legs, that puts him about at a size 6 for his legs. Don't worry about his waist, so it needs to go around his waist, and so it'll be roomy. The size 11 is what, 29 inches. He'll probably wear like a sweater underneath it. So I think the safest thing is I'll just do, I was thinking of shortening it a little, maybe taking the pattern up an inch or something at around the waist. I might do that. So yeah, even for the little kids, you can do the sizing for them, and it's good to have that information. Now I'm back again. So I am actually working with this fabric because it has this plaid in it, and I have to be careful where the pieces meet and everything. Like I want the front pieces to meet nicely, so I'm doing a little preparation work here by matching my plaids. So I'm just going to go through the piece and put a few pins in before I even lay out the pattern pieces, so I can put the put things in advantageous places. I also need to be careful about I think the two front seams are going to be the most important, but I'm going to need to be careful about, you know, the side seams also, that they match up. So when I place the pattern pieces here, that is going to be important. So I'm just kind of going through here. I did trim off this. This doesn't really have a grain or anything, so because it's polar fleece, but I just trimmed it so that I could line it up evenly at the top here. So I'm going to be doing that. So it's a little bit of prep work. This is my front piece here, piece number 1 here. And what is going to be important is this here, right here, where this these two pieces are going to overlap. Here's the center front. So I want the center front to be at a advantageous, because the two pieces are going to close. So it actually might be good to have the center, have this plaid go down the center front like that. Now I think, and I'm going to put the, because I'm going to have to line the front and the back up, I'm going to put the sleeve where the sleeve ends. Here, let me just push this up here on this line right here, and then when I pin the other piece, the back piece, I can make sure it's like on that same line. So let's just pin this in place. This is going to go on the center front. That is going to go on that line there. There's my center. I am matching my plaids here for this side. I actually cut that because it's not cut on the fold. I don't need the fold. There's a seam down the front and the back, so just matching these plaids up. So we're going to get our back piece. There we go. And we're going to line the armhole up with that this line right here, so that we want these seams to match up. So we want these plaids to match up here, right here when we sew it. So I have to pin it advantageously. So this is going to go there, and then I have to think about, there's going to be a seam down the back of the garment. So it gives me a grain line there, so I could line it up there, and then this is going to be the center back seam. So I think I want to kind of move it in this direction a little more, because I want to have we'll have this design here. So we'll move it a little bit more in this direction. Okay. So the important thing is we want the armhole to start right there on that line, and so this is going to be like 5/8 of an inch seam here. So it'll have two of these like plaids going side by side. Just trying to think. Now it's going to be twice this distance. I think I want to make it a little bit more in this direction. That'll be about half the size of that. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna just choose this line right here. I think those are the main ones. Can go up a tad there. Okay. Right. You just barely see the plaid through here, so yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm pinning this piece number 5. I have it turned in the opposite direction because I'm having to match plaids again. I want it to, even though it's going to be a certain portion be turned in and nobody's going to see it, up at the top it folds over, so it has to be kind of like lined up. So on the front piece I have it about 1/2 inch in from this plaid. So that is what I'm doing on this lining piece. Or yeah, it's actually not the lining, it's just the inner coat or whatever. And I'm going to do the same thing with the pocket. That's going to be I want the pocket to be, I could do some different things. I could actually do the pocket at an angle just to make it look cute, or I could just kind of do it in the same direction. There's different things I could do. Yeah. So there's that. So for my pocket, it's kind of hard to see this, but here's my pocket here, okay? And if you can see through, you can see the plaid here. Actually, I think you can see through. Okay, so I want to make sure that the pocket lines up exactly. I want the plaids to line up. So I folded my seam allowance from the top and then here, and the pocket's going to go like this. For that size. So I need, the placement is going to be here, slightly over like that. Okay. When it's placed, it's right, kind of like right above that line there. So put a pin there. It looks like I'm wasting fabric, but probably could get a hat out of whatever's left. I actually have enough to do the sleeves, but I think I want to do it as a little vest, and I can make a hat out of whatever's left. Now the collar pieces are going to be interesting too. I'm going to have to try to figure out how the best placement for the collars. And this is the pocket flap. So that, I think I want to have that it's got to line up with this, so we'll put it right here. And then I have to decide on the placement of the plaids for the, I have to decide on the placement of the plaids for the, so because I need to take advantage of the repeat here, this has to go like this. And I did decide that I am gonna just do the straight size 11. Let me trim that just because that's going to be right here. Okay, so this is the front yoke piece here. So I want it to line up fairly well. So here's the dot right here, and it's gonna match up with this dot right here. So I want the plaid to line up nicely. That's interesting. Okay. So let me just fold it. So my plaid, I'm just going to draw these lines here so I can kind of like line it up. It's just the single line right there. And then these are the, when I place it on the fabric, okay, and see, it goes like that. All right. So that is like in the second, and get this row. Okay, so that gives me an idea of how to place it. All right. I'm actually gonna have to turn it over because, let's see. So to try to match these plaids up, we're actually using a lot, gonna have a lot of dead space here. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna start cutting now. Doesn't have to be perfect. So what I decided is actually I'm gonna just go ahead and cut out the size 11, and then he can just grow into it if it's too big. So here we go. I want to be sure it fits him in his tummy area. He's a growing boy. I'm glad this is not expensive wool that I have to match up. Okay. And then we have a piece at the front, which is this one. And we have the front lining, or inside of front, which is piece 5. Missing a piece. Okay, we have the pocket, which is piece 6, and the little pocket. And actually on the vest they don't put the pocket on, they just put a but I am going to put it on the vest. And this is the pocket flap. They just put a pocket flap on it. And then we have the collar. Okay, both pieces of the collar. And I have one more piece, if I can find it. Let's see where. And this is the extension to the front, which is piece number 2. So those are all my pieces. And usually what I'm going to be cutting out the lining. Now the lining has its own piece. Plus it'll be the back. If I decide to line the back, I'll be doing those back pieces. So usually what I do is I put everything in a big plastic bag so I can keep everything together. And I actually reuse my plastic bags, but I don't lose anything, so just put everything in here like this. This usually have multiple sewing projects going. And make sure my instructions are in there too. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to get done tonight. Next thing is going to be the lining, which I probably will do tomorrow night because it's 9 o'clock. Time to stop.